Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode number 7.5 of the Hunt Podcast. My name is Kenny. I am your host. Our co-host Connor is not in this evening. We actually did a live giveaway on Instagram this afternoon, this evening, where we had a wonderful giveaway of $7,500 worth of American Fetcher gear. That is my favorite clothing brand. And I wanted to pass along that brand to others who aren't necessarily in the know of that company and of that organization. They are a very family-oriented, very wholesome, very good company located down in Alabama. He's probably lower Alabama. I know he stays about 3 hours away from Huntsville, so I got connections down to Huntsville, so he's a few hours from there. We're going to meet up this summer to make things happen, but he has a company where he sells outdoor clothing, and it's not just hunting clothing. What it is, more or less, is like an outdoorsy type Saturday afternoon clothing that you would wear, doing stuff around the house or going out to the store or something like that. So it's like a day-to-day clothing brand, but dedicated to the outdoors. So everyone give American Fetcher a shout. I will definitely post up in this Instagram post of American Fetcher just so you guys can show love. We have Heavy Ranching on board, who was able to win our giveaway today of $7,500 worth of gear. He's got a bunch of stuff. He's got some coffee, got some hats, got a shirt, a bunch of different cool stuff from them, just to kind of spread the wings out in reference to the product line that American Fetcher does have. So congratulations, Heavy Ranching, here on Instagram for the giveaway award. Reason why we're not having episode 8 right now and why it's episode number 7.5 is just because it was just one of those things where you feel it or you don't. Tonight, Connor woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. He drove down hour and a half, 2 hours away to go post up for waterfowl hunt, because today was the Virginia opening day of the third split, meaning that the waterfowl hunting season in Virginia has an early season, then it has a mid-season, and then it has a late season, and it splits. It's got a couple weeks split in between each season. Just kind of let the birds recuperate, because we know that game and fishing organizations are definitely wanting to maintain and retain the waterfowl population, because there's been a lot of money pumped into that species. So today's opening day of the third split, and Connor went down there, set up. I'm not gonna lie, I know the setup that they have. They probably have 100 decoys to put out in the morning. And it is just nuts. So the setup that they have, more or less, it's like a beach area where they'll set up on the water, have a bunch of water decoys up front, and then behind him they'll have more or less a pasture. So they'll do some field decoys, kind of like showing a transition area in between water and land, so birds can land in the water and then want to come up to feed, or want to come up to feed and then go down to the water to roost or hang out, chill, whatever they want to do. So it's kind of like a good middle ground for that species. So it's a lot of work, though. Those of you who have not waterfowled before but want to get into it, one thing I will tell you about for sure, you will 100% for sure run into this, is the amount of work that you have to put in reference to getting the yourself ready and yourself prepared and your group prepared for this hunt. Whether it be making blinds, whether it be doing your finishing up of your blinds, getting yourself ready, putting out all the decoys, taking a truck, parking it back, getting your guns ready, get all your calls ready, jerk strings. There is just so much involved in reference to waterfowl hunting, specifically the big water hunts that a lot of us do here. And I kind of break up the difference between the small water hunts and the big water hunts. But they're definitely doing a big water spread, so it's a lot of work. So when he told me when he came here and said, hey, I woke up at 2 a.m., I feel like shit, I got it. I understood. 1,000% understood exactly what he's talking about. Because when I'm done with that hunt, I am extremely exhausted. 100 decoys is just set up. And then, more or less, and you'll run into this a lot, is these big water hunts, is that you will have a situation where you're set up perfectly. You were on the X the day before, and the next morning you set up to be on that X or to be where the birds were or where they're going to go tomorrow, or tomorrow is today. Today ends up being a different X. And you feel a lot of times, I don't know if Connor felt this way or not, but I know a lot of times, specifically with me waterfowling, you'll be on the X or thinking you're on your X. You're super pumped. You're super ready to go. Everything's set out. Everything's prepared. And then you sit down and wait, and it just never happens. So he might be. If I'm going to go ahead and put myself out on a limb here and say that he's extremely exhausted just because he wasn't pumped up from the hunt. The birds just didn't cooperate, and all that work you had to put in just to get the birds to not cooperate is the story of waterfowl hunter's life. So that's why waterfowl hunting is extremely addicting. So that's probably why he's exhausted. Me, I'm exhausted because I stayed up late doing some other stuff around the house and stuff. So I kind of wasn't on my A game either. I was going to kind of rely on Connor when I found out that he was just bogged out. We want to be able to provide the best show for you. And we felt like at that time, a couple hours ago, that we just could not provide you with the content that we want to provide to you for you to come back or for you to want to listen to us. So our apologies are extremely sincere. We really, really, really do apologize. We just, we were ready. We just weren't there to make ourselves presentable in relation to our viewers and our listeners, to ensure that we're providing you with the content that you keep coming back for. So our apologies are sincere, but we did keep our word, partly, but we, it was definitely stuff around the house, man. It was for sure. It was. But so what we were able to do is we were able to provide you. So we were going to do 2 giveaways tonight. One of them was $150 worth of this hunting stuff that I know for a fact that you will use, or that you should use, or that you could use on a day-to-day basis. It's stuff that we use every time we go in the woods, whether it be getting to the woods, coming out from the woods, or actually being in the woods. They're actually products that you will use, or that you could use, that we were going to provide. And there was also a $75 American Fetcher giveaway. We did execute that today. So, like I said, once again, heavy ranching. Congratulations on that. But our next episode, I promise you, will 100% be it. We will be on our A game. We both feel absolutely terrible. Connor went home and crashed. I went upstairs and soaked for an hour or two, and then decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get on here. I owe you guys. My apologies are real, and I'm going to go ahead and provide you guys with at least some content tonight. I had nothing really to give away at this time because we want to make sure we're giving this away together. And this big build-up, it just seems like we let you guys down. So I wanted to make sure that you knew firsthand from the mouth that we let you guys down, and I apologize. So what I'm going to do is this is a live interaction show. This is not actually a full episode. Our next episode as a group is going to be episode 8 coming out next week. But this is episode 7.5. It's just me kind of freestyling with you guys here online. So what I have right now, those of you who are listening on iTunes, is that I have Instagram Live up right now where I will interact with the group and answer questions or make comments or whatever would need be. So those of you who are listening to iTunes that are not on Instagram Live, I do apologize, but that's, if you've listened to us before, you know that's what we do. We interact with the people live time, and we just record it. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Going to go ahead and go to some comments right now. Heavy ranching, stuff around the house. Yes, 100% stuff around the house. Not only that, I drank a full growler of heavy beer, and I just felt like shit all day. So I just wasn't feeling it. Mojo was good, dude. Tony, I missed the start. Did Connor kill any? I don't know, man. I know they got something. They did. They got a duck. They got a duck. I don't know what it was or how many, but I know that shots were fired. Tony, I could have sky busted a group flyover, but it was too hot. Yeah, you know what? That's a good call, man. The last thing that you waterfowl hunters, or that we waterfowl hunters want to do is we want to make sure that if ducks are coming around, it's a slow morning. We want to make sure that you are not blowing up your spot. We want to make sure that you are there. We want you to make sure that that you are going to be put in a good spot when it is time for you to be on the X, because you never know when you're on the X. You could be on the X tomorrow and you have no idea. Like Connor's situation today. They were on the X and then the X just changed. So if you're not on the X today and you decide to sky bust just because you're not on the X, it could blow up your X for tomorrow. So don't sky bust unless you absolutely have to. Last day of the season, do what you need to do. Your hunt is your hunt. I'm not going to tell you how to hunt, but I want to make sure that you're hunting smart and putting yourself in the right position for you to be successful on your next hunt. So, Tanner, well done. Tony, well done, sir. Don't pull the trigger unless you absolutely have to. I'm going to assume with the spot that you were at and where they were at, you're going to be in the right place for the next time. So, well done. Guys, I have my daughter on board here. This is Kirsten. Kirsten, everybody say hi to the whole group. Once again, those of you who are listening on iTunes, I am interacting with the group live on the show. So it's going to be a broken content for those who are not listening. So, Tony, good job. You didn't sky bust. You did a really, 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 really good job. I will tell you a few things based off of pictures that I've seen, not even of your hunt because I haven't seen it, but I do see that if ice, so ducks in Virginia are really weird, especially those are in Northern Virginia, and they'll go in and out. Like you'll never see the species again. You will 100%. In the early season, October, even into November, you'll see a wood duck. You'll see wood ducks all the time. You'll see wood ducks, especially in wooded areas or in creeks, stuff like that, in small rivers. You'll see these wood ducks going everywhere. Tony and I, we went hunting during the first set, and we 100% saw wood ducks, and that was it. So I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say because today never got above 34 degrees, and so that means if you're in a wooded area like Tony was at today, that there was probably still some ice on the water. Tony, if you want to go ahead and chime in, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and assume that somewhere where you were, you saw water that was not broken up. Woodies find a way to never, ever, 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 ever show their face in the late season, and I don't get it. But I do get it at the same time. It's like they'll leave after the first or second run, and then they'll come back during the springtime when it's time to put up wood boxes, or late winter when it's time to put up wood boxes for the spring and summer hatch. So yeah, that's what he just said right now online, that it was covered in thin ice. So yeah, I'm going to assume that was it just without seeing it. But yeah, you're not going to see a lot of woodies anymore, man, especially in our area. So, dude, I got Mojo and stuff for you and pulsators, whatever you need, man. Let me know. I can throw it out there for you. You're going to see a lot more mallards than anything in reference to the duck species. You will see the mergansers come around. I think they're pretty. I think they're beautiful. I actually would like to get a merganser mounted here, and I will. But a lot of the waterfowl hunters are against the merganser hunting just because they don't have web feet and they're not true ducks. In my opinion, they're beautiful birds. Shoot at them when they come in. So definitely do that. Thin ice, easy to break. Good. So that means water movement is absolutely crucial in situations like that. You break up ice, and then you put your decoys out, and then a couple hours later, your ducks are literally sitting. Your duck decoys are sitting in there, in ice again, and no